What is GME like then?
An offensive joke for some people. I think.
Can you give an example of an offensive joke?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the hedge fund managers didn't think it was too funny. Yeah.
They actually labeled it as anti-Semitic at some point.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So see,
Which is
GME
I
is
mean,
the
come on.
offensive joke.
That's a bit of a stretch. but-
GME is the offensive joke. Not saying that. By the way, like, you know, I couldn't care less about hedge fund managers,
Of
right?
course.
But for the record, but offensive joke, GME. Non-offensive joke, DogeCoin.
So, how's your life been as someone who's trying to to make a living online?
I like the term making a living online. I like the idea of all my assets and everything that I own being online rather than physical. Does this make sense?
Yes. So you would never you would rather hold
A shit ton of cryptos? Yes.
instead of property, for example.
I mean, this is not financial advice.
Clearly.
And it's a lot more about philosophy than it is about money. So keep that in mind while I'm saying this. So this is not like, oh, I will have more money. But I like the idea of owning digital stuff better than owning physical stuff in general. Like, I'd rather own... I mean, yeah, it's going to sound clickbaity, but like I'd rather own an NFT than a physical piece of artwork. Of course, depends on which one, right? But in general, like that's an idea.
Yeah, but with NFT, for example, it's because it's trendy.
Which is why I said it's a bad example or clickbaity example. But if we go into other stuff, like
Even
for example,
Bitcoin.
I'd rather have I don't know, a mobile bank, a digital bank than a real bank. Even though I know that like N26 is not, or any of the neobanks, like they're not the exact same as an actual bank, right? Obviously, I'd rather like have that.
Honestly, I would rather hold property over Bitcoin, for example. But
Wait, Bitcoin is not physical. It's
yeah,
digital.
I would rather hold a physical property
Then
as an investment rather than Bitcoin in a wallet. But for example, my situation right now, my family owns most of our whatever we own in property, meaning that in the now almost inevitable event of war, okay, that's a bit pessimistic, but in case of war,
yes,
that
keep
would
going.
be worth shite. And a Bitcoin will be a bit, although 9% of the world's Bitcoin is mined in Iran, so who knows what will happen to the Bitcoin supply. It might even skyrocket in price because of that. But, you know, even if fucking Spain, I mean, Spain was in a civil war less than 100 years ago, so there was, my hope is that there will always be servers that, you know, mine Bitcoin. And there will not always be secure borders and stable governments to protect your property and its value.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck? When did this happen? Like when did we? When it's been 1 decade. It's been half of our lives where this has been like this. The 2-minute conversation we just had has been even a possibility.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is this going?
I don't know, but I trust my digital wallet more than the banknotes that whatever country in the world can issue.
Oh, of course.
Well, I mean,
no
but
fiat is ever worth anything, basically, unless for like a two month.
I was talking to someone from our class. I'll say our class because we have class together all the time. I was talking to someone from our class the other day, and he was saying, yeah, but if you buy cryptos or if you buy this or if you buy that, whatever investment you make, stocks, whatever it is, whatever you hold, you have to have a strategy around it. You have to think of what you're buying and when you're going to sell it and what your expectation for that sale is. And my rebuttal to that, which he agreed to, was right now I'm holding euros. What's my exit strategy for that? No one has that.
Not consumption. If I'm holding euros, I'm going to consume it within the next few years.
But consumption is not a strategy for investment.
Yeah, but
You're holding
fiat is never an investment.
I agree with that. What I do think is that whatever you hold, you're holding something. It can be fiat, it can be cryptos, it can be gold. You hold whatever you want, right? It's just your assets exist in a specific form.
Yeah, this is an asset, but it's depreciating value as we speak into it.
But
Same with a fiat.
But this, I swear to God, this is true because I have very good proof from my friends. This depreciating asset is less depreciating than the Argentinian peso.
And the Iranian real and the US dollar at this point.
So wouldn't you agree that then it makes sense to have an exit strategy for your fiat regardless of what it is?
Of course, any minute. I mean,
But
right now, basically, my dad doesn't hold any Iranian reals because, I mean, no one does actually. Like, it doesn't matter if you make 50 euros a month, you don't hold reals. You either spend it, which most people have to just spend it all and borrow some money and spend more to just live. But if you have any extra, you either put it in stocks, which are also doing horribly, or you I don't know, you eat it or you invest it in some shitty investment that is at least better than holding your fiat.
But you do realize that the reality of 99 point something % of the population in this world has, like, yeah, it's holding fiat currency.
Of course.
But
That's because 99% of the world don't really have enough money to think about the fact that this fiat that they're earning now will not be spent within the next fiscal year or 2 years or 3 years. Like,
this is true.
If you
someone making, if you hold anything, like if you have savings, for example, in a fiat currency, would you rather have savings in a fiat currency or would you rather have savings in some other form? Like, for example, let's use terms interchangeably here. Like, would you rather own an asset, even if it's depreciating, or have savings in a specific currency? Because, for example,
depends on how much money I have. When am I going to spend it? If I have enough runway in a fiat or a easily convertible asset like gold,
but easily convertible. First of all, gold is not easily. It's not the best.
I can literally buy gold right now on my phone and sell it within 5 minutes.
Okay, fine. It's a great store of value. It's a great medium of exchange.
Yes.
When it comes to medium of exchange, Bitcoin is just as good or better than gold.
By the way, to your point, gold is not really, like, buying gold online is not really a good way to buy it. There was at some point apparently during the financial crisis where each ounce of gold in the United States was owned simultaneously by 4 individuals or 4 parties. So first of all, whoever allowed that to happen should be put to a cross on Wall Street, or Main Street, I guess, but or in front of the Federal Reserve. That would be even nicer. But Bitcoin is a lot more transparent, definitely.
So my question stands. Would you rather hold savings in a fiat currency or an asset or a crypto or something else? Like, if you have a certain amount of money, let's call it money for a second, that you have to put somewhere, that you don't need to buy food, that you don't need to pay rent, where would you put it? Again, not financial advice, just like,
I would split it into 3. Put a third into something that purely stores value, gold and precious metals. Put a third into property and put a third into Bitcoin or other crypto.
Okay, diversifying.
Although equities right now seem to be rising quite well to hedge that third that goes to Bitcoin between equity and crypto. But yeah, I would still split it into three.
I would agree that diversifying is the right move financially, but philosophically, like, you know what I mean? Like, which one do you root for? Like, I root for holding. Honestly, like, I wish my savings could be in digital art or blockchain based currency.
Anything blockchain based, anything decentralized, I would hold, as you said, not necessarily for the value that it will bring me, because let's be fucking fair, no one knows where the economy is going to be in 5 years or 10 years. But I like, for example, holding Bitcoin even if it's 50 euros, because it's a big fuck you to governments, which I despise.
This is what I
I'm
mean.
not an anarchist.
This is where I wanted to get to. Like, not what is best right now or what we should do, what's the best financial advice. Rather, if you were in control of, just of this idea of like what the best way to control your own money is, I would if I were in control of it, like, I would just choose NFTs and cryptocurrencies to be reliable enough for me to just do this. And honestly, I might as well do it even if they're not that reliable. Like, that's how much
What is your tolerance for risk or reliability?
To be honest, right now I don't even know, because the listeners of this podcast might like to know I don't have any money. So
yeah, right now neither do I. But let's say we have 50k in our bank accounts right now, and we are only going to spend 10k of it over the next 5 years, hypothetically. I'm just keeping the numbers small. What would you do with that 40k that you have?
If I had to make a decision today,
so you have 50k, 10k of it you'll be spending over the next 5 years. The other 40k you have 5 years to somehow invest or store.
make a return on it.
That's up to you. It's your money. But
Okay. And are we assuming that the 10k that we're taking away will cover like my family's basic needs?
Imagine if the euro was like worth $50 each, and you had 50,000 euros.
All right. So assuming I just have 40k of disposable, like, I could for example bet 365, lose it all, and I'm okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you wouldn't have any money left to then, after those 5 years, assuming that you don't make any money within those 5 years. But
that's also an option. Like, making money during those 5 years.
Of course.
Yeah,
You're
okay.
always hopefully going to make money. But, okay, what are you going to do with those 40k?
Today, I'd start a business. And of course, like, I'm not saying, oh yeah, I'll start a business, that's easy. No. Starting a business is probably the hardest way to try to make a return on these like 40k. It's probably easier to just put it somewhere and stuff, but like, I am during those 5 years, I need to do something, right? And I think I'd rather, and that's why I also answered it like automatically, because like, yeah, I invest that money in myself, and it's 100% up to me whether that's growing or not, right? And it could be, and probably to be even more fair, probably diversify. So I'd invest in one main project that is myself, and then I'd invest in a couple other projects from like an angel investor, I'd angel invest the shit out of it.
So you still won't go all in crypto or any?
I didn't say what the businesses would be.
Okay, what would be the businesses?
No, I mean, okay, so realistically, I would do more research, of course, not just like, oh, I know everything, I know what to do with 40k right now, give it to me. But I'd buy gear to make content regardless of what I'm doing, right? Like, good gear, put a studio together, whatever it is.
And a team, I assume.
And a team, exactly. Pay my team to make content about whatever the rest of the 40k are going, I think that would give me a return for sure.
Interesting. So the content is not the business.
Well, until it is.
But so you said they're gonna make content about whatever the business is, or whatever the 40K is going to.
Yep.
So where is this rest of this 40K going to?
I feel like I'm dancing around the question and not actually answering it.
Yes.
Probably you and
And
I.
I'm also, yeah.
You and I could probably start in something related to NFTs and content creation. I think we have a lot of resources to make really good content. So that's one thing. And then I think that in itself can support a bunch of other projects. So think about this. Imagine if you grab one of our friends whose project we really, really believe in, and you give them exposure on your own channel, like with this
Identity.
and money, if that's what they need.
Again, identity.
Yeah. So this 40K, like, and of course, like, a small portion is gonna go to Ethereum. A small portion, like, for the people listening, and even if it's just Roham, like, that really wanted to know, we're actually, okay, yes, I'm gonna put a little bit, I don't know exactly how much, but I would put money on Ethereum for sure still. If I had to pick one cryptocurrency, yes, it would be Ethereum, although I'd buy DogeCoin as well. NFTs by
You would
artists.
actually buy DogeCoin, unironically.
Yeah, because I believe, I'm an honest believer that the fact that it was made as a joke makes it so much more, let's say, secure against hype or all this stuff.
But
Because
it's only hype. It's
Well-
literally Elon tweets, it fucking spikes, and then it dips again. It's like a little toy for Elon to play with on Twitter.
So what's the most common way? Not the most common way, maybe, but how would you choose what if you could only invest in one crypto? What's your?
Listen, I would have been too young, but someone with a similar amount of knowledge that I have right now in 2008, if you told them, let's say 2006, if you told them that in 15 years there will be this thing that is going to be treated as a currency and it's going to be worth $60,000 each, and it's going to peg the US fucking dollar. It's going to peg the reserve currency. I would have fucking spat in your face if you said that to me. I would have laughed, and I would not spat. I would have laughed in your face.
It's also important to note that in 2006 you were like 5.
I was 4. But again, like if I was
so you would have spat on anyone's face regardless of what they said.
No, I was a very polite
because that's what you
kid.
do all day.
I was a very, very polite kid. I didn't spit in people's faces.
This is definitely gonna be a clip. All right. Yes.
So even like when you talk about DogeCoin, like who the fuck knows? 10 years from now, DogeCoin might actually be like 10, 15 years from now, DogeCoin might actually either as a joke or quite seriously be the currency of Mars.
Okay.
We are in such...
But that's speculative. My argument is quite, I would say, grounded in reality, which is the following. I think the people, at least the people that I've met that know about cryptos, are the people who decide where to put their money based on the projects, right? So they don't just put money on XRP because they heard it from their buddy or or it's because they looked into Ripple and the Ripple network and the relationship they have with banks and the infrastructure that it provides.
And the US Air Force.
And the US Air Force. Whatever.
And the lawsuit.
And if they, yes, exactly, everything, right? And they still decide to keep it. And the same thing with Cardano, and the same thing with Ethereum, and the same thing with Bitcoin, right?
Well,
in
in
the
this
people that
case,
understand the project, like they really look into the project, the founder, like how it came to be, what the goal is. What is it with DogeCoin? There's only 2 things that you should know. It's a joke, and all the money is used for good. So all the founders or the creators of DogeCoin, which was I think a guy from IBM and a guy from Adobe, something like this, they just got together and did it. The vast majority of the money, if not everything, I think, goes to like charity and stuff. So if it succeeds, it's literally just good for the world.
Okay,
Whereas
but is GME was GME a joke or is it still?
Jimmy is and will be a joke.
But that wasn't necessarily a good joke. A lot of people lost money on it.
But that's the thing, though.
And a lot of,
because
of course, a lot of people earned it. Like a lot of people who would not have had the power to earn.
But that was a joke with winners and losers. If DogeCoin wins, who loses?
Governments, but also people who buy at 50 cents and sell at 5 cents. I mean, I suppose that always. This is a shitty argument. I'm sounding like a boomer. This happens all the time. It's your fucking money. If you want to put it in a joke and then you lose money, you probably had enough to lose on a joke. That's. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, but my argument is that because it's a joke, because it's a. You know how there are bad jokes and good jokes, and some jokes are not there. Even if they're, someone thinks they're funny, they can be offensive.
Mm-hmm.
DogeCoin
I know quite well.
Yeah, so DogeCoin is like that nice joke that is like, it's not the funniest, but it's funny and doesn't harm anyone.
So GME is like screaming the N-word.
I will not engage with this.
Okay.
And I'd rather have it cut.
Okay. So what is GME like then?
An offensive joke for some people. I think.
Can you give an example of an offensive joke?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the hedge fund managers didn't think it was too funny. Yeah.
They actually labeled it as anti-Semitic at some point.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So see,
Which is
GME is the offensive joke.
That's a bit of a stretch.
GME is the offensive joke. Not saying that. By the way, like, you know, I couldn't care less about hedge fund managers,
of
right?
course.
But for the record, but offensive joke, GME, non-offensive joke, DogeCoin, and both newsworthy and, you know, fluctuations and everything because they're a joke. But I honestly believe in the end game, like, not that these two are battling or anything, but DogeCoin comes out as a yay kind of scenario where everyone is like, I can't believe we made it happen, you know, an inoffensive joke that took off and all the money goes to good causes.
All power to DogeCoin. To the moon.
And it's literally the most, well, not the most, but one of the most accessible things to invest in, you know?
No, actually, because it's not on. It's not on Revolut.
No?
No.
But you can, you have Coinbase? What?
Nope. I only invest through Revolut, which is kind of not
just
good.
a
It's
terrible
not,
idea.
Yeah, it's not the best platform for this.
Yeah. I would, well, again.
Because you can't even trade your Bitcoin. Can you do that on Coinbase? Can you send people Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Okay. Coinbase.
I'm not going to get into how, but yes, you can, like, you basically, so between any wallet, exchange, whatever, you can just type in whatever address is.
Well, actually, I want to be able to, no, too much to say on camera. I want to be able to exchange money with my family.
Dude, we don't have to put this on, but like, same.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally the conversation that I'm having with my parents right now, it's more about that, like, what's the easiest way for me to send them money or for them to send me money?
Especially for large transactions, it's like...
My dad already downloaded Bitso. It's a Mexican crypto exchange, and I'm going to tell him to just send it that way because I'm creating a crypto wallet today. Like, get Kraken. Get Kraken. No, get Kraken, the crypto wallet, and...
But you know, get Kraken is also a get GUI.
and yeet and all these things that the younglings say.
Too much Flutter, too much Hossein.
Yeah.
For one.
Whippersnappers.
I'm supposed to release the Hossein episode today. I haven't really finished it.
All right, I have an idea. Cause it's 4:05.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we do like some some bit of the podcast where we don't talk about anything blockchain
Yes.
because we are clearly not the most informed people on the topic.
Yeah.
Oh, but
No, but that was a good conversation. I'm not
no,
gonna
yeah,
cut it out.
no. There's a lot of stuff to cut out from there.
No.
But
I'm not a fan of cutting shit.
Well, too bad.
You can tell your friend to cut.
Maybe. Okay. Next topic, not blockchain related,
Yes.
which will be difficult because I was aiming for creator economy. But
Okay, that's exactly right. Okay, so
okay, fine. We
you
might
don't
talk
have
about,
this money yet to invest in crypto.
dude. You want me to open my bank account right now? I'm not ashamed of this.
That's what I'm saying. Like I know that you don't have like 50 grand lying around to invest in crypto.
Tell the people what number you see.
Oh my god.
It's not a joke.
Motherfucker. You are fucking broke.
All right.
All right. This is
Yeah,
not good.
but you know what app I have to open to impress you when it comes. Anyways, this is not going in the episode.
Yeah. So.
But don't worry, I'm okay.
You don't have 50 grand lying around. You're okay. You're surviving. You're not homeless yet.
Yet. Wow. Wow. All right. Where is this going?
But you need to make some money in order to not be homeless. Fuck, I'm sorry. This is very. No,
I mean, it's true.
These are jokes, you know. These are just like.
Yes, but this is true about yourself too.
DogeCoin.
You have to make some money in order to not go homeless eventually.
Eventually, yes.
Eventually, for me too. I'm not. I feel like I'm nearing homelessness.
I know. But
also, nothing wrong with homelessness, but I'm not nearing
there's
it.
quite a. What do you mean? There's nothing wrong with homelessness?
Well,
There's
no shame in being homeless.
Of course, but like you should try your best not to be homeless.
Yeah, but to all of you out there who are homeless right now, like all of our respect and
All
and
power
support.
to you on your journey back to
And
financial stability.
Maybe we should be more involved in helping that situation, don't you think?
Maybe we should first, stabilize our own financial situation, then we can help other people. That's
This is an argument that I can support. Let's go with it.
How are you gonna stabilize your financial situation over the next 3 years?
On the record or off the record?
On the record.
I'm kidding. Stabilize my financial situation. Well, I had a job interview last week.
Fantastic. And how did that go?
Great, I think.
So you're gonna be employed.
I don't know yet. And also, how are you? Okay.
I know this. I'm just for the sake of recording.
Okay. My bad.
It's a podcast.
I forget that this is it's more than just me and Roham having a chat. Okay. So we had a client meeting, you and I,
Yes, indeed.
offering services already. Anyways, so that's one potential source of income in the near future. Then we have this potential job, right?
You mean? Oh, yeah.
From their interview last week. Then there's well, as soon as I get some of that money that I don't need to use, I'll probably put money where my mouth is, DogeCoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, NFTs, digital art. Like, I'll genuinely do it. I'm not just saying it. And I do expect that to give me a return in. Not in the short term, so like to pay for bills and stuff.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, a couple other things here and there. I'll leave it at that.
And what are your I don't know, expected stats on this, like as in percentage of this being successful, this plan of yours?
I mean, I think I think we can get more clients easily, or even if it's just this one, like the client, the I don't know what to call it. What the fuck? Let's say consultations. The consultations.
It just sounds like we're like putting something under the rug, trying to label it as something. It's literally consultation.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We're not selling drugs or anything.
Yeah. No, it's literally a consultation around creating content. That's it. That's literally it. So these content consultations,
Mm-hmm.
tongue twister. These content consultations, I think they could go well. Could rely on this. I see it. I think it's perfectly valid. I think we can easily find more clients if need be. The job that I applied to, I mean, I don't know yet, and it's even if I do get it, it's technically short term, so not a long term contract.
With a possibility of.
With a possibility, and I do think the possibility to turn it into a long term thing is high, and I do think the probability of me getting the job is also high. But again, I don't want to jinx it, right? But yeah, I'm pretty optimistic and confident that everything's gonna go well. I don't have any stats on it.
I don't know honestly what I'm gonna. I mean, I'm putting all my eggs for the next year or so into podcasts and videos and this consultation on the same topic. Basically, I'm gonna try and push a few products out there in the middle, but eventually it all goes down to how successful this podcast is gonna be and how successful the YouTube channel is gonna be, and for me to even have an audience to sell those products to. I would hope to make be able to make a living on my own by the time I graduate through content, without financial support from my parents.
I mean, if you want to know, for me, I mean, we're in March. I'm already trying to transition right now. Financially, not. Cut that part out.
Why are you censoring so much? You're like a fucking Chinese CCP member or something. Stop self-censoring.
I just want my own.
This is not the Soviet Union.
I just want my online presence. I just want my online presence.
We're in democratic Spain
to be clean.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna rephrase that from the beginning. So we're in March. I'm already going, slowly from like fully financially dependent to fully financially independent, and I think that transition will be complete by the time I graduate. So September. Call it October. Just for
how many months is that? 6, 7 months?
You know how to count?
No.
September is month 9th, and we're on
6 months. Okay. Can we talk about the other thing actually? Why you so much self-censoring yourself so much? Like, okay, already you are politically quite to the left of me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not a right winger. I'm just a centrist. That's how I like to call myself. I hope that's a good classification.
Yeah, but everyone thinks they're in the center.
No.
Yeah, come on.
No, there are a lot of people who
everyone
are proud to be right or left.
Perfectly. Yeah, I know. But like, there's a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, I'm in the center.
Yeah, because most people at least try to think for themselves.
It's like when you ask someone what kind of music they like and they say everything, and then you put on like the music that you like and they're like, oh, this sucks.
Well, it's more about not taking sides. It's why would you?
You're a crowd pleaser.
No. But look at what's happening right now. Like, these are not my stats. I was hearing this on the Lex Friedman podcast, but basically the stimulus checks, as fucked up as they are economically, in my opinion, they were the most popular thing in America, the most popular policy in America in decades. 80% approval rating on that on the stimulus checks.
Mm-hmm.
And still, while Trump was doing it, the, let's say, further left Democrats were complaining that, these people didn't get it, the illegal immigrants didn't get it, it's unfair, it's going too much to the rich, blah, 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 blah. Fair, but shut the fuck up.
Wait, what do you mean fair, but shut the fuck up?
Fair, I get your point, but we're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. I'm not an American, I'm just saying this as an outsider. We're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. Your country, the greatest empire the world has ever seen, is losing its fucking footing. So, and there's one policy after so many presidents that actually has more than 50, has such a high approval rating, and you're throwing stones in its way. And then the same way, when Biden did it, the fucking Republicans couldn't shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up, man. It's okay. Let one popular policy happen. Okay, anyway, we derailed from this. Why why do you self-censor yourself on the internet? Because I clearly don't give a shit what I say, even though it's more politically dangerous for me.
Wait, what kind of censoring are you referring
You
to?
just censored yourself a few minutes ago.
Nah, I just like it's I don't know. Like I don't see it as censoring.
What's wrong with cracking an offensive joke? Let me phrase it like that.
Oh, cracking an offensive joke. Yeah, I'm not okay with that.
Really? Not at all.
I mean, yeah, no.
Okay, if it's like actual hate, really, really hateful shit, fair enough. But
okay, I mean, you choose if you live this or not. But like, for example, the types of jokes that some people were cracking earlier in the kitchen, like, yeah, I'm not okay with them. As you saw, I didn't stand up and like put up a fight just because I don't have the energy to do that all the time.
oh, but you would if you did.
Yeah. Like, I generally think some people made jokes that I generally know that some people in the kitchen made jokes that if I had the energy to engage every single time, I would. But I don't. Like, I care enough about the issue. I don't care enough about changing this person's mind or trying to show them that I disagree with them.
But why so serious? You know, it's like...
I think there's some things that are more serious than we take them. Like, a lot of people try to simplify a lot of things when they're actually more complex. A lot of people try to make things more complex when they're supposed to be simple. A lot of things are supposed to be more serious when people are trying to make them very casual, and some of the things are supposed to be casual when they're trying to make them serious. You know, it just happens.
So you think it's too serious to take it that casually then in this situation?
Yeah. But see, here's the thing. Like, the mood,
it's fucking funny.
But you realize that the mood in the room changes a lot
when
right?
you hear that.
when you say it. But and I think people realize they're completely shutting it down. Like, I don't have feelings, you know, like I can make jokes about anything. I'm the meme lord. But the truth is, like, you hurt people.
Of course you're hurting people, but you know, for example, a lot of the people who survived World War II in the trenches, World War One in the trenches, said that the only thing that kept them alive was cracking jokes about the fucked up situation they were in.
Are you in the trenches right now?
No, but I'm a human, and that's clearly a human instinct to joke about fucked up shit. As an Iranian, I can tell you,
I know it's
always
dude,
joke
I
about
know it's
fucked up
human because fucking I'll say it, you know, I'll make up stats all day. 90-something% of the population makes jokes that someone else would find offensive, right?
You're always going to say something that someone finds offensive.
That I don't agree with. I mean, okay, yes, you will.
There's
there'll
8
always
billion
be someone.
people.
There'll always be someone who's extreme enough to look for something offensive in something that you said.
Not always someone.
But-
it's like
but
groups, like large groups of people.
Yeah, but then I think that's different. Like, one thing is to be respectful to all, and then the other thing is make jokes that you know will. Again, you can make a joke that offends 50% of the population, and that,
Of course.
yeah, exactly. So that's.
And people do.
And people do, and I don't think that's okay.
What about someone who, you know, comedians, people who have comedy as a career, or do they get a pass? Or
On making offensive jokes, making a living out of offending people? No.
let's say, I guess a transphobic joke,
No.
sexist joke.
No.
It's a
Cancel.
joke. What the fuck? So you support that side?
No.
The dark side.
You just used the word side. I just used one word with 6 letters in it. That's it.
But you would support canceling people in specific.
For the right reasons, yeah.
But who determines what the right reason is? This is my whole argument that I'm trying to make.
How hard is it to not be offensive and funny?
It's pretty damn hard.
Because here's the thing. You're saying, what is right? And I'm saying, what is funny? Like, if you make a joke, if you make a joke about someone being autistic, I'll genuinely won't find it funny.
Fair enough. I wouldn't find a joke about like Alzheimer's funny, but
there you go.
because I've had experience with it.
And
I wouldn't.
And my mom
cancel
and my
someone
sister
for-
and my grandma wouldn't find it funny that if you talked, and I wouldn't find it funny if you made a joke about women.
I know. The reason I'm laughing is not because I wanted to make a joke about women. I have tremendous respect for them. My mom wouldn't be happy either. But I still think that comedy is a bit too special for our society for us to allow a decentralized mob to cancel it.
But here's the thing. So, for example, there's let's take Nelk Boys, for example.
Yeah, they're pretty fucking offensive. I don't enjoy most of their videos, but they have the right to do so.
Here's the thing, though. So, of course, a lot of the stuff that they say, they do, their behavior, like, I don't, support or anything. There is an element of, and I hope this comes across the right way, there's an element of, like, they don't give a fuck about anyone. They'll be offensive to everyone, and that kind of almost, at least in my world, gives them the pass of, like, if you don't like it, don't look. But there are a lot of people who, again, make a living out of offending and targeting specific groups of people.
Yes.
And that I am not okay with. Like, it's one thing to do a prank and be disrespect. Again, not saying that that's okay. Just saying it's different to, like, target specific people with your jokes and make profit from that another set of people who are not in that group pay to watch. I think that's pretty fucked up.
And how far would you go? Should there be a punishment for this? A legal punishment for this?
I'm not a policymaker. I'm just saying I'm not okay with it. That's it. And as a citizen, I will vote, accordingly. But I'm not in a position to create a law about this. I'm just saying, if I see, for example, since we do have some influence, like if I see something on Instagram that is offensive, I will report it as offensive, targeting a specific group of people, just like Instagram allows you to do, because it's exactly why that feature exists. If someone is being offensive towards a very specific group of people, they should be reported because that content should not be on the platform.
Yeah, Instagram is a private platform. They can choose what they allow. Although they don't really choose it.
But does it matter if it's private, if it has 2 billion people in it almost?
There are 8 billion people in the world. But
yeah, but then
as in,
how many?
That's what I'm saying. So
how many sets of laws apply to more people than the laws of Instagram or the laws of Facebook? Not many.
That's pretty fucking scary.
Oh, that's a whole different issue.
That's what concerns me in general. I'm a bit paranoid given where the country that I come from,
which is Iran.
Yeah. Thank you.
In case you weren't sure. And I'm from Argentina, by the way.
Partially first-hand, partially second-hand, what happens when you allow a certain group of people to decide who to cancel and who not to.
But I'm not saying a specific group of people.
But right now, no one is choosing who gets cancelled. If you find something offensive and you have a voice, you will voice your voice. And then, and too much flutter. And then another group of people, some of whom who are just trying to be part of some group who is outraged, or some of them for their righteous reasons, will follow suit.
This is too hypothetical for me.
No, it's not hypothetical.
Let's use examples. Come on, I'm an ape. David Dobrik just got cancelled.
I don't know who that is. I mean, I know who that is. I've seen a face, but I've never watched a single video. So, no, I'm gonna use an example of history because that's what I tend to be nerd out about.
I failed history in 7th grade. You know this.
I'll explain it for a 7th grader.
Motherfucker.
Fascist Italy.
You're trying to lecture me on what my grandma tells me? Okay, let's go.
No, that's what I'm exactly like. That's why I chose this example, because you would
Because
know it
I'm
better than most.
Italian?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Because it's the reason why I am here.
Precisely.
Where if it weren't for this example, I wouldn't be sitting in this room. Is this what
Right,
you're saying?
Precisely, yes.
Okay, let's go.
So, what did the fuck? I forgot the English name for them. The black coats. Mussolini's dogs, basically. Yeah. They before Mussolini was in proper power, they walked through the streets and killed every single opposition member, every single member of parliament or politician or activist who was in opposition to Mussolini's ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what their catchphrase was? No me frego. I don't care. So, and that eventually became so big. I mean, different times, different country, different method for now. It was cold-blooded killing in the streets, but eventually he became so scary to the population that they just decided to give him absolute power. It wasn't that long ago. It was like less than 100 years ago. This is all within the frame of the past century. It happened several times. It happened later in Germany. It happened before that in the Soviet Union. It happened in Iran. It happened kinda in China the same way. Not kinda, it happened the same way in China, basically. It can happen really, really quickly. Like before you can even see it coming, within weeks, your country will go from a democracy to a complete fucked up dictatorship if you allow the wrong people to be able to have so much power over the rest with their voice, with their cancellation.
Mm-hmm.
That's what concerns me about getting so easily offended and then being so able to voice it. It's good that we're able to voice it, but then it seems like there's not enough equality in that voice.
I'm not connecting the dots between, canceling a sexist comedian and Mussolini.
That's not exactly what I'm debating.
Okay.
I'm worried that the culture that comes out of you being able to cancel someone so easily by just typing 140 characters will eventually lead to that getting also so... I mean, it's already involved in politics. Politicians get cancelled left and right. A lot of them for good reasons. But what worries me is ideologies. This turning into an ideology. And then ideologies tend to be driven by people with malicious intent. It's power. And power is dangerous. Inherently. And it can corrupt. So...
That's all. That's all, folks. Thank you for coming. No, I'm kidding. Well, good. Then you're scared.
Of course I'm scared.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be. But how am I to tell you?
You cannot tell an Iranian that. After what we've seen.
I don't know. Maybe I'll get you. I'll bring Carl to talk to you, so you can talk to him about your fears.
These are okay. These are not like existential. Maybe, but these are like fears that are fun to be afraid of.
Fun.
Is that a weird... Do you not find being afraid about existential threats to humanity fun?
No.
What do you worry about?
Worry? I mean, normal stuff. Like, my grandma is old. I hope she lives a long time. We got scared recently. I was worried. Not that worried anymore. She seems to be healthy.
I also feel the same about my grandma. She's quite sick. I mean, we don't know how long she will...
How old is she?
She's actually quite young for her situation. She's, I think, 72. But she's deteriorating faster than anything I've seen before. It's like every time I see her, she's less herself. That's quite sad. But it's kind of a distraction to worry about things like I just mentioned, existential threats to humanity, so that you don't worry about the right now what the fuck's happening.
But I'm not. The thing is, what you're not getting is I'm not worried about either. I couldn't care less. No, sorry, not about my grandma. About like, I don't know. I guess the things that maybe you're worried about.
You tend not to worry in general. Is that you're a chill person relative to me or Timo, for example.
I think I have some short-term worries, like, you know, maybe 1 week I'm having a stressful week and I'm worried, but then it's over, and then I'm chill.
You don't like to worry about the long term, or you just choose not to?
I honestly, I don't even think I choose not to. I just don't. Like it's fine.
So you don't care about the year 2100, for example?
No, it's cool to look at it, and I love that channel. I love Destination 2100.
Oh, thank you. I'll tell the creator.
Yeah, no. That's a channel that everyone should subscribe to, that everyone should watch multiple times, like and subscribe, support on Patreon.
All Google accounts. I know you'll have like 3 Gmails. You should.
Yeah, you know, like, and like use it to bond with people. Send it to people and be like, hey, this is really cool. I wonder if you find it cool too, and we can talk
just
about
random
it.
girls you meet on Tinder, just send them my videos, and that's your ticket.
Or boys, right?
Yes. you were trying to catch me there, make an offensive joke.
I did. I just clarified. I just clarified that it's okay if you're watching this and you're into boys.
Yes. Or if you're into gender neutral people.
Yes.
Yes. It's not a joke. I know I'm laughing. It's not even a joke.
All right. It's like it's the neo anti joke. It's not that something.
yeah.
You know.
Oh, wow.
It's like
you need to watch this guy. He's called JReg on YouTube. He literally like makes content like this. It's like ironic irony, basically.
Anyways, no, yeah. So I like watching Destination 2100 because it's cool to find out about cool things that are happening, and there's things that are bad, but it's I don't know. I don't find it to be an alarmist channel. Like like some teachers we had who were very alarmist. Like the end is near. The end is near. Beep, 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 you know.
But it was going very alarmist, partially because of the influence of people like that. Now I'm trying to pull back,
I can tell you haven't posted in.
I haven't posted in exactly 2 months.
Wow.
Because the content is not good. I'm not happy with the content. It's fucking shit.
But now you have an editor.
Well, I have an editor for the podcast, which would give me time
to make better videos.
I don't want to make videos. I want to make documentaries. Right? I want to spend a month. I want to spend, frankly, as long as I want, and make the best video on that topic on YouTube.
Honestly, but the thing is, I think you're setting the bar for yourself very high, just because you regard a lot of other people very highly, which is fine. But I think, for example, the Ant Financial video is probably up there, you know, on the best videos explaining what happened, if not the best. Like,
it's my most viewed video.
There you go. You know, I don't think you're far. I think you're giving yourself a hard time because there's stuff that you talk about that. Let's say you borrow from the style of creators who are really good at what they do, but they don't cover the stuff that you want to cover. So the people who cover what you cover are not that good at, you know what I mean? Like you merge those worlds.
The problem is the content I really want to make involve my weird, like quirky ideas.
And?
For example, both the fake news video and the new Iron Curtains, the no longer international internet. They are some of the videos that I had the most fun writing the script for and editing it, but they have the least views. The videos where I just use external research, use secondary sources and then just compile that into a video, those are the ones that get most views. For the Ant Financial video, I didn't know jack shit about Ant Financial when I started researching it. It was just based on research papers that I got mainly from Hannes. and then
Who you've interviewed in
yes,
this very
episode 1 on this
podcast.
podcast so far, the most popular because it's the only public one yet. But yeah, it's an amazing podcast. Check it out. Yeah, like it was actually a lot easier to make than the fake news video. It took me 2 weeks instead of 2 months, and it has, I believe, like 10 times the views.
Okay, I don't want to cut this conversation short, but how many videos have you posted?
7.
That's not enough.
Of course.
It's not
It's
enough
been-
data. Like
I started in
you could be
July.
saying nonsense.
I
right
started
now.
on July 11th, 2020.
Yeah, so you know the rule, right? Make more videos. Once you have enough, then you can look at the data and figure out what works and what doesn't. And my best guess would be that it's probably a combination of those two things. Like the very well researched video with the twist of your own. I mean, it sounds pretty obvious.
Perfectionism does hurt people, doesn't it?
What hurts people?
Perfectionism.
It hurts your content. It hurts your channel. And in the long term, it hurts your bottom line, your profits.
But it's art. It's not. This is what kind of disappointed me. The moment you start looking at it as a business, it loses all the fun.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why the way I balance it when I think about it is you do it for the art and you do it as an art.
But then if I want to do it as an art, I can't do it every week or, twice a month.
Great. Separate, because I think, well, I don't know, maybe I'm not the right person to talk about this, but I do think that, like, how many YouTubers have stopped making YouTube videos because they even temporarily, because they realized that they care too much about the views and the numbers. A lot of them.
Also, a lot of fantastic YouTubers who just don't upload because it takes a long time because they're perfectionists with their videos and it's not.
But here's the thing:
sensible.
like, if you separate, if you make artistic videos that you do for the art, then you don't care that your channel is not growing, because you're not doing it to grow your channel. You're doing it to showcase your art.
I guess I'm a bit confused about the goals because I also want to make some living on that channel and grow it to a sizable audience. I suppose art can come in a lot of forms and money can come from a lot of sources. It's just a matter of me deciding whether I want to combine those two things. And that will take some time. So I don't know. This one though, it's fun. It's not necessarily art, it's just a conversation that happens to be recorded. It's relatively easy to make, so it's a resourceful endeavor, I would say. Because it's not, I would say the cost to reward ratio is quite good.
Yeah, this is why it's my favorite one. When we talk about like making content, and I tell you like my ideas for what I want to do, it's always stuff like this. That's what I was, when we're setting up. Like, I think this is the coolest. And well, at least for me, for my style, this is my favorite. Just sit down, chat with the camera on, raw, uncut, unfiltered, put it everywhere.
Yeah, making those videos is fucking stressful. There's almost no element of stress except being on time with your guests and who you're going to interview and some other external stresses that don't necessarily have to happen. But
but if in my case, right, if I in my apartment, in that room, I put my iPad with this fisheye on and mics or whatever, and I have that set up, like, I won't have any of those pains, right? It's only the good stuff of like sitting down, press record, and have fun, and then post that, and here's the artistic part that I was talking about. Like, put it on the internet, and if only one person sees it and they love it or they hate it, doesn't matter. Like, that's okay. I didn't make it to get views. I made it because it's cool. And I honestly, now the flip side of that is that I genuinely believe that's the most effective way to make money online, to just do it for the art, and eventually by itself, without any ulterior motive of your own, it'll turn into something. Look at people, look at everyone, you know, everyone who's like really good at what they're doing, the vast majority of them didn't start what they started to make money with the idea of like, I'm gonna be a millionaire. But they end up becoming sometimes.
It's very rarely though.
Yeah, but
It's quite a steep hierarchy of, you know, who gets attention.
yes, but I'd love to know the stat. Maybe you know it, but like how many people who, you know, across the span of 2 years posted 100 videos? How many of those, you know, and are still posting videos now? Like how many of those are not meeting the U.S. poverty line? Or whatever, their own home country poverty line. I don't know. I'd love to know, because
I suppose that also goes back to an argument of working hard versus working smart. Like,
or working at all.
Ali Abdal was saying he uploaded 52 videos, right, before he got 100 subs.
So he did better than the average YouTuber, right? That's his whole thing.
So I hit 100 subs with 6 videos in the same time frame.
100 subs, 6 videos, same time frame. And he did what?
He did 52 videos in 6 months. I did 6
In 6 months.
in 6 months.
And he had how many subscribers by the end?
100. So you can definitely grow with.
Do you genuinely believe that those two, like your own data that is limited and his, are like comparable and enough to make an argument?
No,
I don't think
it's
there's
a gamble either way.
I don't think it's.
And
I don't think
also-
these are statistically significant enough. I want to see
course
like
not.
I want to see like, you know, what percentage of channels who have posted 100 videos within the 2-year time frame, and that are still uploading today with a relatively similar frequency. What percentage of those are not making, you know, ends meet? Because I'm assuming that number is a lot lower than we think. Sorry, the amount that are. So let me rephrase that. I think, I'm pretty certain, and I would love to know the numbers on this, that if you upload about 100 videos across 2 years or 3, and that you maintain that level of consistency until today, whenever that was, I'm pretty sure most of those have, you know, enough to live. Could be wrong, but I'd love to know that stat.
I'm willing to bet 99% of channels definitely don't make any money.
But that's the thing, right?
But
If you
people
don't follow
who do it,
if you don't follow the formula,
people who do it at least part time. Let's just say that. I would say 50% make a living.
like 4 hours a day.
I'm not doing it 4 hours a day yet, but
You know, if you do it right, you can do like our friend Ibai, who does it, you know, couple hours a day. I don't know how many exactly. A lot.
Who?
Ibai, the Spanish guy with the mansion outside of
Oh, yeah.
Barcelona. He streams. Doesn't even edit. He doesn't even anything. He
that's
just
just
streams.
lazy fucking content. So there are two quite obvious
he's a millionaire.
strategies. Like, you don't really need stats for this, but there is a lot of stats on this. You only have really 2 strategies on YouTube, 2 main strategies. You either go for scarcity or you go for abundance.
Mhm.
And then if you go for scarcity, you gotta make blockbusters every single fucking time. If you go for abundance, you just gotta shit content out, right? I'm not saying either one is good. For the podcast, I'm going for abundance. For the videos, I'm going for scarcity. We'll see in like a year which one pays off better. But both work.
I mean, depends on who you ask. Like, who was it that was talking about this the other day? I think Ali Abdal specifically said, like, making a documentary and then waiting a long time until you make the next documentary, I think he'd regarded that as a bad, well, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but like he said something, I'm pretty sure he said something along the lines. And if it wasn't him, apologies.
Well, he said it's a bad idea for most people, if I remember correctly.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. For most people.
Yeah.
Again,
But do I want to be like most?
no, but the beauty of this is that we can talk about it all day. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna tell you do this. The only thing I'm gonna say is do whatever the fuck you want, right?
And there is no formula.
And there's and as long as you're happy, it doesn't matter if the channel has 0 views, if the like to dislike ratio is bad. You know, if you are happy, what the hell does the YouTube channel matter? You know, like if it's making you happy, you know what I mean, regardless of the results.
But it's not making me happy when it's rushed. That's the fucking thing.
There you go.
I know, like...
Then don't rush it.
At this point, it sounds like an excuse because it's ridiculous to not upload a 10-minute video after 2 months.
Right.
But, I mean, I'm not working on a 10-minute video. I'm working on probably a half an hour, 40-minute documentary. But
Great.
I don't know how long it'll be. But, like, right now, I mean, I'm trying to launch the podcast, survive my classes. After spring break, I'm going to actually make a documentary as soon as possible. But... I don't know. It's just more fun when I take my time with it. I gotta
Great.
like
Then never rush a video out, unless you feel the urge.
unless you know separate business from pleasure by having the channel that only I work on it. Take my time with it. Have the podcast and probably another channel that is run by with the help of a team. That is subsidizes the fun.
It's exactly what I told you about Mr. Beast and how he wants his main channel to run at a loss and all the others to be profitable enough to run the main one.
It's a good
It's
strategy.
the exact same
It's
strategy.
really hard to pull off, but he has pulled it off.
Look, everything is hard until you learn how to do it, and then it's easy. You know? Like, it's hard to grow a 1 million subscriber audience, but then you do it, which I haven't, but a lot of people have done it, and then they go like, here's the formula. Like, this is how here's how I did it, right? Like, how many videos like that have you seen? And they explain it, and it's like, huh, I guess it does take exactly that, and then it happens. Not always, not guaranteed, you know? There's no security deposit, but I don't know. I fully support your idea of, like, Destination 2100 being a documentary place that, you know, again, if it has 1 view, who cares? Like, the goal is that you do your documentary, that you become the filmmaker, the director, and everything that you want to be, and make that stuff. And if you think the best way to, you know, to sustain that is to have other channels that are more centered around, like, you know, making money and stuff, great. And if you think it's, you know, for some people, I say maybe for all these YouTubers who like do it as an art, they have a regular job and then they get home, and because they love their YouTube channel that they don't hope to make money from, they upload. And that's perfectly fine.
There are a lot of people I watch who haven't uploaded in like a year.
There you go.
But the videos that they did upload, 18 months ago and was 30 minutes long, I still remember it very vividly, and it's like has had as deep of a psychological impact on me as like a really, really good book. And books take a long fucking time to write.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see how much they paid George R.R. Martin, the Game of Thrones guy? HBO paid him.
He's a unicorn kind of character.
No, I know, but did you see how much they paid him for like the next years? Shit.
After Game of Thrones.
No, now. Like, they just renewed a contract.
Yeah, for the spin-offs.
For the spin-offs.
I don't know how much he got.
They didn't say, but they said 8 figures. So that means it's at least 10 million. But they said mid 8 figures, which implies 50 million.
Fair enough. The guy's worked his ass off. He's written one of the best pieces of fantasy.
And he still is, right? Like, he's taking his sweet ass time to write it, but, hats off to him. Maybe that's the only way. I mean, it is the only way to write it. because he's the only brain who can do it. And if it takes him, if he dies before he finishes it, which is what every fan fears, like, also sorry, that's how it works.
And then you also have Joe Rogan on the other side of the spectrum, who literally uploads 3 times a week, sometimes more, and
Guy's a beast.
yeah,
Big-
the guy's an actual beast, but also he got paid more than almost at least double as much as Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Exactly, good for them. Hopefully we'll reach their
You
money.
saw my bank account there.
Mine is not much better either.
No, because you have GME on yours.
I didn't buy GME. Okay, so by the way, quite opposite of Martin, George R. R. Martin, the author of the Witcher novels. For the first game, when CD Projekt approached him for the first game, he didn't take them seriously, so he just accepted $100,000 for the license of the entire Witcher series. And then after The Witcher 3 was sold hundreds of millions of copies, the dollars worth of copies, he sued CD Projekt for not paying him more, even though 10 years ago he accepted the contract for 100,000 for 8 novels. Yeah, and now he's got a sweet deal with Netflix, even though he left the show because he has a giant stick up his ass. Never mind. Enough gossiping. Enough gossiping. I think we recorded a good amount of footage.
Yeah.